From their athleticism and competitiveness, motherhood to the push for social justice and change, the women in the W never cease to amaze, and we've got you covered from courtside to the outside. This is the Hardwood 94. Let's tip off. Welcome to the Hardwood 94. I'm your host, Jackie Rae. Now, I hope you all had a wonderful Juneteenth, and I hope you know what the holiday is about and what it means to most African Americans. But if you don't, I promise you we will get to that later, because a lot of people have no idea what the day is about. Even a lot of Black people don't know. Now, I'm going to let you know right now, it's going to seem like I'm throwing shade at the Indiana Fever, and to some extent, I am. But I'm also trying to use this as a teaching moment. So follow me down this road, okay? Let's take a look at the team that is more than likely the ones that are responsible for everything that goes on the social media page for the Indiana Fever. First, we have Tyler Beatlescombe, who is the Vice President and Head of Digital Strategy. I'm going to be honest, I wasn't sure if I was going to throw him in the mix, but according to his LinkedIn profile, he is an experienced leader in cross-platform content and production. And the layup is Miss Carly Bland, who is the social media coordinator for the Fever. Now, either one of these or both of these individuals posted this for their Juneteenth celebration game. That right there. If there was one Black person who had eyes on this, there is no way Grace Berger is the face for a post regarding their Juneteenth celebration game. No shade to Grace, but this is a holiday that highlights Black Civil War soldiers liberating enslaved Black people from Confederate Texas on June 19th, 1865, 2 years after Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation. Now, in a fashion that made me very proud, Black Twitter dragged the Fever to the gods, which caused them to delete the post and repost something that made things way worse.
Juneteenth is important for all Americans because it allows you to never forget about history and what came before.
It's just a day to celebrate, Black people.
It celebrates and highlights the history that we have helped pave along the way.
To bring all colors together, all races, all ethnicities together.
It was a day that everybody became equal.
We need to learn from it, grow from it.
Constantly remind people of the history, but to rewrite a new history.
That video is just, that's not it. They clearly didn't know what they were talking about when it comes to the holiday, and they weren't coached properly. Now, if I'm being honest, I'm not over the top mad about this, but I would have really appreciated an acknowledgement of the misstep, because one, it's warranted, and two, because when you acknowledge that you didn't know any better, but are committed to doing better, that means you are holding yourself accountable and showing a commitment to making change. Or at bare minimum, hire a conscious Black person. The league is over 70% Black. It can't possibly be that hard, right? Well, we shall see. You have a whole year, Indiana, plenty of time to get this right. Meanwhile, though, allow me to reintroduce you to my girl. Her name is Candace Parker, and the Queen has made history once again, becoming the only player in WNBA history to record over 6,500 points, over 3,000 rebounds, over 1,500 assists, and over 500 steals. And that is why she is the GOAT to me. This woman has given her all to this game, and I love her so much for her grit and her determination. So I'm sending a big shout out and congratulations to Candace Parker and the Las Vegas Aces, who currently have the best record in the league, which absolutely nobody is surprised by. Take a look at what's coming up next on the Hardwood 94.
It's not always what's happening on the court. It's the personal stories and what's important to people personally, because people like to get to know you.
Yeah.
So what is important outside of your kids and your family? What else is important to Diana Taurasi?
What's up, Steph?
Hey, check this out. You can pre-qualify with CarMax fast and easy. Did you just block me?
I was protecting your credit score.
Pre-qualifying with CarMax has no impact to your credit score.
Sorry, force a habit.
Gotcha.
Anyway, then folks can shop by personalized results to see how each car fits their budget.
Feels really good.
You just blocked me again, come on.
Get pre-qualified with no impact to your credit score. CarMax.
I'm Sophie Cunningham with the Phoenix Mercury, and you're checking out Hardwood 94.
Welcome back to the Hardwood 94. We are your go-to for getting to know your favorite players no matter who or where they are. We recently slid down the 10 freeway, headed to the Valley of the Sun to talk with Sophie Cunningham, Moriah Jefferson, and of course, the three-time WNBA champion Diana Taurasi. This team has gone through a lot, some of it very public. From chemistry issues, Styler Diggins-Smith still hasn't returned from her maternity leave, and of course, the absence and the triumphant return of Brittany Griner. I am happy to say that regardless of what you've seen or what you think you know about this team, they have personalities that shine through, and they say they're up for any challenge this season. I am here with the woman, the myth, the legend, Miss Sophie Cunningham. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
So you came into the press conference in a whole vibe, a whole mood, with a disposable camera.
I know.
Whose idea was that?
Our media.
Okay,
people.
I
Clearly
thought
not mine, but it's a cute idea.
It's
It's
great
cute.
idea.
So I've been getting pics from everywhere in here with a lot of people, and so hopefully it's like just not in my nose though. Hopefully I'm like actually getting like good pictures. So we'll see.
So I will tell you, I went to a wedding one time, and they had 5 disposable cameras on every table.
It's fun.
Got a ton of pictures.
Yes, it's fun.
Married.
Good memories.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'll be a while.
So, you are just such a personality in so many different ways, and now you're an analyst, and I just want to know, how did that come about? Was that a planned thing, or did the universe just align?
It just aligned. I did go to the University of Missouri, which has a great journalism school, but I did not do that route. I didn't.
Did you major in that?
No, I did. No, I did the easy route. But I could talk to a wall for 5 hours. But my mom graduated from the journalism school in Missouri, and so she always made sure me and my sister were able to talk in the proper way. And so I think the stars just aligned. I'm very grateful for the opportunity that, the Suns are allowing us Mercury players to share our knowledge and be on a stage that they're on. And so it was so much fun. And I'm very new to it. And so they kind of just threw me into the fire. And I was like, I don't know how to prepare. I don't know what the rhythm of the show. I didn't know anything. And it was so much fun, a lot to learn. But hopefully I have a future in it.
Do you think that trial by fire makes you a little bit better?
I think so. I think it's just when you can experience things, then you know what people are talking about, where if they were just to tell me like how things go, I'm just going to black out again when my first time was up there because I don't know what the heck they're talking about. But I do think so. And I think that relates to life too and basketball. And so when you're just kind of thrown into things, I think you learn quicker.
I think sometimes when you do something that you love so much, like play basketball, sometimes it's hard to imagine what you're going to do after. So is this kind of the perfect storm to do something that falls in line with something you love so much?
Absolutely. And at the end of the day, I'm grateful to be bouncing a ball for a living, right? Like how fun of a job. But being able to stay in sport and to stay out here in Phoenix, I do think that's why I'm kind of getting my feet wet in it, because I would love to stay around basketball. And just doing it for one season, just for I think 25 games that I did, I learned so much about the sport of basketball that I've been playing for 26 years. And so it's a different perspective, a different outlook on it for sure. But I love it. And I hope that I can do it.
It's, I got to tell you, it's very interesting sitting across from you because I'm so used to you kind of being the villain in the game.
Everyone is, but I'm not. But we'll get there. We'll get there.
So that's what I want to talk about. You do have some zesty comments. Coach called you the dog. You have the, the F, the former teammate moment. You said you don't mind throwing elbows. So do you are you the bubbly villain?
I don't know. And when I say elbows, I don't actually throw elbows, but it's more like I'm not going to back down from. So it's not literal elbows, but I don't back down from anyone, and I don't think people expect that from me. But for me, it's just hard work. It's about doing what your team needs in order for it to win. And it's crazy because if I was a guy, it's like, oh, he's the ultimate competitor and he just wants to do anything it takes to win. But as a girl, it's like, but I do get a bad rap. But it's so funny because, Diamond to Shields, Kia Nurse, and even Mojo, she came and everyone was like, I didn't think I was going to like you. And I was like, I didn't think I was going to like you either. But like, we're all like, oh my gosh, we love each other. And so it is kind of funny that I am a different person when I'm in between the lines. And then when I'm outside the lines and I'm not being competitive, I really do love people. I want people to genuinely be successful and happy. And however I can, if I can do anything for them, I'm going to do it. Yeah. So, yeah.
I can feel that energy from you, but from the outside looking in, it looked like, and DT said that earlier. She said, one of the things a team really needs is to be able to get along. And from the outside looking in, it looked like you guys were struggling with getting along, having that kind of chemistry. do you intentionally say to yourself, okay, this was a problem last season, these are the steps that we're going to take to make sure it's not a problem this season?
Yeah, I think when you're trying to win a championship, everything matters. And I know that's so cliche to say, but it does. And one of those things is loving your teammates and being the best teammate. And, life is hard and everyone's always going through something. But at the end of the day, you got to show up and you got to be a pro, and you're getting paid to be a pro. And so I think if you can get to know each other outside the court and truly be a sister and help people, give people grace, then naturally when someone's having a bad day, you're going to give them that benefit of the doubt. And I think that since I've been here, that's been an area where we've got to improve on. And so for me, I want to take on that role, and I'm going to make sure that we're one this year.
Yep. So I have 2 more questions for you. One's a fun one, and then one's a serious one. Okay. You just said you could talk to a wall for 10 hours. I don't think that's your hidden talent. But what is your hidden talent?
Man, I actually can sing a little bit.
Oh.
Yeah, I will not do it now.
Oh, man.
And I just saw those eyes. And then I also love to ride horses. I don't know if that's really a hidden talent, but it's a joy of mine just to get away from people, get out into a pasture and ride.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other one is a little bit more, I don't want to say serious, but I think in BG's first press conference, she had said that she thinks that, transgender women should be able to play in female sports. But we've seen what that kind of does. I'm a MMA fan, so when Fallon Fox was there, there was a definite detriment to that. Yep. And then we saw with the swimmer.
Yep.
Is there a middle ground? Can we find a middle ground that allows us to keep the integrity that so many women have worked so hard to create women's sports and let it move with integrity and fairness? Is there a middle ground for that?
I think we're still trying to figure that out. And I think there's a place for everyone. And I think everyone deserves a stage to perform. And I really do. I think everyone is an athlete, male, female, whatever gender, transgender, whatever you want to identify as, there's a place for you. And there should be a place for you. You guys are working just as hard as us females. And so I think that there is a middle ground, but I also think that you have to respect biological women as well, because there is a huge disadvantage. And it's a very technical, kind of touchy subject, but I think the more that we can educate ourselves, myself included, and just having conversations like this and trying to see where they're coming from, where we're coming from. At the end of the day, I think it's all about love. And I think that when you do have a conversation, you get a lot further than just arguing back and forth, because that's never going to go well. And so hopefully we can find a middle ground. But it is important to also protect, biological women in sport.
Hey everybody, it's Jackie Rae. I am here with Moriah. I'm so glad to meet you in person.
Thank you.
We talk a lot as women about having children in the league. You have a little one.
No, actually. So everybody thinks he's my son.
He's not
but
your
he's
son?
actually my godson.
Oh, he's your godson. He's in every picture.
Yeah, he's everywhere with me. So I kind of treat him like he is my son. But
whose son is he?
He's my best friend's son. So my best friend since I was 7th grade.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
shout out to 7th grade friends. I don't know if I have friends that I've had that long. So good for you. Yeah. So he's your godson. No, I'm not the first one to mistake him for your son.
No, I mean, everywhere I go, everybody thinks he's my son. So
you're a good godmom then.
I am. I treat him just like he's my own.
So, but we still have those narratives around the league, though, about what it's like to give birth and come back. Have you thought about that in the future? Do you want to have kids of your own?
I do. And it's so hard as an athlete, and especially because I've gone through injuries and had to sit out already 9 months at a time for different injuries, of deciding when that time is. So having him is actually a good little outlet for me, because I don't have my own kids, but having him there helps a lot. But I definitely want to have kids, and it's extremely hard. I've seen some of my teammates have kids and to come back. It takes a lot of hard work, a different type of mindset. But as women, we're very strong, and you can see that so many of us are capable of doing it.
Yeah. Now, you talked about your injuries. When you come back from an injury, it's not just the physical, right? It's the mental too. Can you talk about how you have to work to get over some of those injuries?
Yeah, I think for a lot of people, the mental is the hardest part. Right. For me, I'm a Christian, so I tap into that side. Just kind of focus on small goals every day. It can be hard when you're thinking about sitting out for 6 to 9 months, but instead of focusing on that full time, I kind of find small wins every day of being able to walk better or being able to bend my leg in a certain way. And then leading on my family as well. They've always been an incredible support system for me. So.
You said you're a Christian, so do you have a Christian playlist before you get ready?
Yeah, I do. I've got a lot of gospel music, wide range. Of course, everybody knows Kirk Franklin,
right?
But I've got a lot of different albums and things I listen to. But I have a great playlist. If you want me to share it with you,
I would love to
drop it with you on Spotify or Apple Music, whatever you have.
I have different like Christian music depending on different moods. Like when everything is going great, then it's the upbeat Kirk Franklin. But when I'm feeling some type of way, he has that song, Silver and Gold.
Silver and Gold,
that's my go-to.
It's a good song. You get throwing some Tasha Cobbs in there too.
Yes, absolutely.
There's a lot of really good Christian artists out there.
You've been with a couple of different teams. Do you immediately look for a church home and a church family when you travel, or you just kind of keep the Lord in your heart?
A little bit of both, because it's kind of hard. We don't really get a lot of Sundays off. You're either traveling, maybe you have a game, practice or something like that. So I try to find a church home pretty fast, but I like to go and kind of immerse myself in the culture and see what the community is like. So it's hard, but I have a church that I watch online consistently, and I try to keep it that way.
Which church is it?
Reunion Church in Dallas.
Oh, okay. That's good that you can do that online. But I like what you said. Sometimes it's being there in person that really helps, especially when you're going through things. You can lean on your church family, but you also have your team as well. So when you do have these times in your life, like injuries or even other personal problems, how much do you lean on your teammates and rely on them to kind of help you get through those times?
A lot. I mean, you're with them every single day. You know, even though you're not on the court, you're still at practice. You're in the training room with them, and your teammates are always really good about coming up and asking you how you're doing and just checking in. So I'm excited to see what that dynamic is like here in Phoenix. And my teammates have been great so far, and I'm excited to get started.
I heard Coach Gino from UConn said you are his so you already know what I'm going to say.
I already know.
Favorite player of all time? And I know you were saying, I want to know when he said that. Did you confirm?
I have not confirmed. Coach, I'm going to reach out to you pretty soon about that because I didn't really feel like it when I was there every day. No. Coach is amazing. He's always been somebody who I can reach out to. We still talk to text whenever we have time now. But to say I'm his favorite, I don't know. It's giving cap. But but
not the cap energy, girl.
Giving cap, but you never know.
Were you surprised that DT said that though?
I was. I wasn't expecting it. When they said Gino, I just assumed they were about to make a joke or something. And so when he said that I was his favorite player of all time, I mean, we have a great relationship, and I think I was a pretty easy player to coach. So maybe in that sense, you know, who knows?
DT said something earlier that kind of resonated with me because we just saw the women's NCAA finals get more views than the Super Bowl did. And she said that women's sports are the only place that happens where the younger people get more attention than the adults do. Why do you think that is?
I don't know. And I wish I could give you an answer, because we need to find that gap and to see what that fall off goes from college over to the W or whatever our sport is. I think that we tell our stories really great when we're younger, then people have a connection through their colleges. And so now doing things like this where people can learn our stories, it gives them a chance to want to watch us even more.
You're obviously here. BG is back home. It's amazing to see her in action because it's almost like she hasn't missed a beat.
Oh, yeah.
How does it feel to be on this team at this time right now with BG and her coming home and her wanting to play?
It feels great. I mean, obviously, that was devastating news for everybody who was involved, the entire league, and couldn't imagine being here in Phoenix when it was happening. But just excited to be back, excited to get a chance to play with her now, and I think we're going to have a great season together.
How's it feel for you personally to be here? Just you
great.
Here in Phoenix?
Yeah, it feels great. Phoenix is obviously one of the top organizations in the league. And so to get a chance to say that I play for the team now, learning my teammates and coaching staff and just the city in general, I'm very excited to be here.
Okay, I see you, Auntie Moriah, taking care of the kids. I have a whole goddaughter that no one would mistake for mine, so clearly I have to do better. Coming up, I speak exclusively with Diana Taurasi on her expectations for the season, Sue Bird, and what her next endeavors are. Stay with us.
Matching briefcases. Very cool.
Spicy sauced and loaded chicken sando, curly fries, taco, Sprite,
and a baked brownie. You dig?
Does Snoop work here now?
You already know. My munchie meal. Only at Jack in the Box.
What's up, everybody? It's Jackie Rae. I'm here with Diana Taurasi. It's so good to see you again. I just enjoy your presence so much. First time I met you, the first thing I noticed, I was like, you just walk with swag. Like, you just have so much. And that's something I feel like you carry on to the court your whole entire career. How do you maintain that same level of intensity for this long in the game?
I just love to play basketball. And I think I've talked about it a lot in the last couple of years when, you do get to a point where, you've been in the game for a long time. It's why do you play? What do you love to do? And for me, it's doing the work every day. I love going to the gym, even when it's really hard, even on days where I don't feel great. It gives me purpose. It gives me, my satisfaction to being really on this earth right now. And I really just enjoy being in the gym with my teammates.
Mm-hmm. You said something earlier that really resonated with me on a bigger level than, even sports, when you were asked if BG was one of the reasons why you came back, and you said no, and it was a full stop. And I think sometimes we as people, we do make a lot of decisions based on, is so-and-so going to be there? Are they not going to be there? Why is it so important to make decisions, no matter what you're doing, based on what you feel personally and not other people?
Well, because like in life, a lot can change, but you have to be very true in what you want to do. And I think that's when the best version of yourself comes out. And that's really when you bring the best you to the table.
Right.
And sometimes in life, and, it happens all the time. It's happened to me where you make decisions on other people, on other circumstances that you can't control. And I think sometimes you end up in positions where, it's frustrating and you don't get the best out of yourself. So, signing an extension, obviously, I was looking ahead and hoping BG was going to be here. That was number one on my list, but it's not the reason I signed. I signed because I love the game and I wanted to come back and give it another shot, especially for this organization that has really done everything for me since 2004.
Right. So I watched you and Sue cover the Gamecocks.
Yeah. Not for very long this year.
I have not laughed that hard in a long time. And so I was like, is there any chance you want to do some stand-up comedy? Well, I was dying.
With her, it's like we spent so many days, overseas on the couch, just shooting it. Because we had nothing else to do. We had our 2 hours on the court, and then it was like, well, we're the only two people that speak English. Like, we better make the best out of this. And, it's fun doing stuff with people that you know really well.
Right.
And that you can play off of, like we have on the court. And we do the same off the court. I mean, it's fun. It was just such an amazing event when you get to see women's basketball at the highest level. I think it's so great. And like I talked about earlier, like, we need to use that synergy and make sure that's on all levels, not only for youth sports, for college, for women's sports. But, the TV thing, I've been around it. It's a grind. I give you guys a lot of credit. It's not as easy as people think it is. You have to be prepared. You're emotionally, physically, mentally into games. It's exhausting. Right. And so I have a whole different respect for people in the media and that do the games.
I appreciate that. I have one more question for you. We talk a lot about the media and how important the media is, especially when elevating the W.
Yeah.
But I think with that, sometimes it's not always what's happening on the court. It's the personal stories and what's important to people personally, because people like to get to know you.
Yeah.
So what is important outside of your kids and your family? What else is important to Diana Taurasi?
There's I have a lot of interest. I love coffee. I love architecture. I love real estate. Now with having young kids, I know a lot about fish and dolphins and dinosaurs and transformers and trampolines, unfortunately now. But, I'm very cruisy. I like to really just get around people that I don't know much about and learning about them. Because everyone has a different story and everyone's story is a little bit unusual and interesting. And like you said, the deeper we can dig into these personalities, then fans are going to watch because, this person went through the same thing I went through. And it's been getting better with the help of you guys and, you know, all the popularity of the WNBA. And it's been fun to watch 19 years in.
Yeah, it's been fun to watch you.
Thank you.
Years in. I mean, especially from LA and seeing, you know, somebody, I'm like, I feel, I claim you. I'd be like, I know DT personally.
Man, you know, they just asked me what was my favorite arena. It's going to Staples. You know, like I grew up going to Great Western Forum and Staples Center. Like, those are the times that I was the happiest. You know, get to see Magic at the Forum. Nick Van Exel, my favorite. Kobe, like, come on. I got to see him at Staples growing up, you know, watching him play. Chick Hearn, like LA basketball. It's like in our blood.
Right. Well, LA loves you.
Diana Taurasi coffee. Maybe White Mamba coffee? That sounds good, but I don't drink coffee. I drink tea. This is tea. DTT. I like it. Let's get to the social status of the week. Recently, the NBA announced the sale of the Charlotte Hornets by majority owner Michael Jordan. Now, Jordan is set to make anywhere between $2 to $3 billion. Yes, I said billion. Also, rapper J. Cole became a minority owner of the Hornets, and I have to say congrats to both guys, but it does make me wonder, which hip-hop artist should invest ownership in the WNBA? Would it be Drake? Oh, I really hope not. Kendrick, NBA Youngboy, come on guys, the ball is in your court and I would love that hip hop swag in the W. Next up, the roster cuts have more ups and downs than a yo-yo, and WNBA PA Vice President Brianna Turner made a great statement about it. She said, I know there's upset fans at WNBA roster cuts and I see how many people saying how they won't support the league because their fave got cut. I would actually encourage the opposite. Please continue to support the league so it can grow and create more opportunities to support future players. I agree with that, and that actually leads me right into Jackie Rae Whatcha Say, because it's a good thought process. You do want to invest in the future of the W, you want to invest in the future of these young women, but that's just not how business works. Business doesn't wait for you to create something that the people want. You have to do that now. They're not going to wait and warm up for you. And there's too much stimulation in the world. People can literally pick up their phones and see whatever they want to see. So you have to give them what you want, what they want, actually. And the thing is you have to capitalize on what the NCAA tournament taught us. We were all salivating for everything LSU. It was literally LSU versus everybody. And now to see Angel Reese and know that Caitlin's coming into that rivalry, people are going to want to see that. Trust me when I tell you, I don't think either one of those young ladies are getting cut. Angel is out there making $1.3 million because of her likeness. That's the key. Name, image, and likeness. That's what NIL stands for. So when they have an image that people want to see, people will pay them for that. When they have an image that WNBA fans want to see, people will pay to go see that and they will tune in. You really have to exploit these young women as they're coming into the league. I know people don't like that phrase, but what I'm saying is they have a brand. They are their own brand. Unite that with your brand and make it profitable for everybody. Now, for what she's saying about expansion, I get that, I understand that, but the league is not ready for that. There is empty arenas all around the league right now. And so what you have to do first is get fans in the stands first. So bring these young women in, let them do what they do, capitalize on all their fanfare right now. And listen, here's the thing. If they play for 1-2 years and then you cut them, it'll be okay then, because then we can see that maybe they don't deserve to be on this team. But in the meantime, fans are watching them, and now they have other fans on that team. So now they're going to stay because they're committed. You can't put the cart before the horse in this one. Capitalize on this product that is already made to help you grow your brand. That's all I got to say with Jackie Rae Whatcha Say. That's our show. Once again, I'm Jackie Rae. The game is over. We will see you next time on the Hardwood 94.